Welcome to day 1 of our 10-day chair pelvic care challenge. Today we are just starting with gentle breath work to help us kind of settle down and let our awareness settle into our pelvis and come there and bring our breath work to that. So ideally, it'd be great if you can even sit back in your chair and have your feet flat. If you can't, that's okay. You want to just at least get yourself comfortable in your chair. So if that means your feet are not flat, but you're in your chair and you're leaning back, whatever works for you. You can even do today's practice in like a seated chair, like an armchair, something more comfortable, because today we're just doing breath work. Though it might be nice to have the chair that you're picking for the 10 days to work with. So however you want to sit in your chair, if you're also more flexible, it's more accessible to you, you can sit with your legs crossed on your chair in a more meditative position. Find what works for you. I'm going to sit like this because this is the most comfortable for me and how I sit all the time. So I'm going to ask you to soften, close your eyes, and we're just going to start breathing a little bit deeper. So thinking about as you inhale, your lungs, so into your ribs, are going to inflate and expand. That expansion is going to extend down to your belly. Let your belly expand. And even deeper, feeling that expansion come into your pelvis. And as you exhale, let your pelvis soften, your belly soften, and your ribs. So we're going to even take a few breaths. Bring your hands on your rib cage. So they're going to come up either side, close to your armpits, but not directly on them. So just take a deep breath in. Feel that expansion in your ribs. Try to pull that expansion further down, past the belly, and even into your pelvis. And exhaling. Then we're going to bring our hands down to our belly. Take that deep breath in, let your ribs expand, then your belly. Let's see if you can get even further into your pelvis. Letting it all soften on the way out. Then we're going to bring our hands to the outside of our hips. Take that deep breath in, let your lungs expand, your belly. And notice if you feel that shift, that subtle movement in your hips here even. And let it soften. One more breath with your hands on your hips. Letting your ribs expand, your belly into your hips. And everything softens. And then you can even explore bringing one hand to your vulva or whatever your external genitalia happens to be, because this is the base of your pelvic floor muscles. This is the most superficial layer. So as we breathe, taking that deep breath in, ribs expand, belly expands, hips, you might even feel the expansion right there. If you think about your entire abdominal cavity, thoracic cavity, and your pelvis, it's a big balloon we're inflating as we inhale. So this is the bottom of the balloon is our lungs, the belly is the big round part of the balloon, and then the pelvic floor right there is like that top of the balloon resting in our pelvis. So as we inhale, let even the top of that balloon expand, filling all the way up into that balloon. And the same way when you let air out of a balloon, everything just starts to soften. Just let it all soften as it comes out. We'll take 2 more breaths like this, breathing in either with your hand anywhere in your body to help you bring that awareness by touching the area. You're a bit able to connect more, so you can have that internal connection feeling as well. So take that deep breath in, fill up your lungs, fill up your belly, fill up your pelvis, even the top of your balloon. And then the top of your balloon softens, your hips soften, your belly softens, even the rib cage. One more breath here, deep breath. Filling and expanding that balloon, starting with your lungs, the belly, into that top of the balloon, your pelvic floor, and let it all soften as you exhale. So we're going to keep going with that same expansion, but coming into what's called box breathing, where we're going to let ourselves fill up all the way for a count of 4. We're going to hold that for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Again, holding for a count of 4 and repeating. So let yourself soften, reset, relax. Same thing though, focusing on 1 being our lungs, 2 the belly, 3 the hips, 4 being that top of the balloon, the pelvic floor, that very base here. And then holding, and then as we exhale, softening, pelvic floor, hips, belly, lungs. So deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Let yourself hold at the top here for 3, 2, 1. And we're letting everything soften for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding for 3, 2, 1. And we inhale, fill the lungs up. 1, 2, 3, 4 for your top of your balloon. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Softening your pelvic floor. 1, 2, 3. Rib cage softens. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale through the lungs. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the top of the balloon. Hold. And 3, 2, 1. Everything softens. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 3, 2, 1. Take a nice normal breath for yourself. It's a really nice gentle practice. We're going to work with this breathing style later on in this challenge with isolating and contracting our pelvic floor. So it's a really nice pattern to know. And we're going to come into one more bereavement, one more breath here. This is going to be one of our longer days. We're doing 3 different breath works, but it's a nice foundation to connect with our pelvis. And as well, we're going to work with that box breathing and the cat-cow breathing we're about to do with practices later on in the challenge. So it's nice to have that base groundwork with just your breathing. So from here, we're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to have your hands on your knees. Whether you're sitting cross-legged like myself or if your feet are flat, wherever it is, if you decided to go with a more comfortable armchair for today's breath work, you can put your hands on the arms. You just want to be able to have your hands anchored down. So as we inhale, again, still think about that. Fill up your lungs, fill up your belly, fill up your pelvis, even the top of the balloon of the pelvic floor, let it all inflate, and everything softens as we exhale. But we're going to do this with movement in our bodies. So we're going to inhale, lift the chest, lift your chin up to the sky, your tailbone points behind you, so you have a nice arch in your lower back. And then as you exhale, your tailbone scoops round your spine. Your spine might even press into the back of your chair. Look down to your navel. So inhaling, chest lifts to the sky, chin to the sky, arch your back, lift away from the back of your chair. Exhale, scoop your tailbone around the spine so it presses into the back of the chair. Look to your navel. Inhaling, arching, looking up, filling all the way down. Exhale, curling, press your back. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. So this is just cat-cow spinal wave. So we're inhaling into that cow shape, the same shape you would have when you're on all fours. In your spine, exhale, rounding to your cat back. Inhaling, lifting that heart, shoulders relaxed, arching your spine. Exhale to curl, look to the navel. Spine presses into the back of your chair. Inhale, nice and tall into your neutral spine. And just take a few moments here, normal breath, really noticing how it feels to have taken just a few minutes to breathe with your pelvis. The relationship between our diaphragm and the pelvic floor is a very important relationship. So resetting how we breathe, resetting that connection between our breath and our pelvis is a great way to support pelvic health. And this can look like many things: structural health, urinary health, digestive health, sexual health. So it's really important to keep that relationship. We breathe around 20,000 times a day, so this is a constant dance. So if we can make sure it's being done correctly, it can really help support our entire body. Thank you for joining today. I really look forward to the rest of this practice, and I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can either message me directly, comment under this if you don't mind having it be a public question. And if you have any requests for anything future you want to know about, just let me know.